All right, well, we got Fnatic, MSI, KawaiiRice spawning as the yellow Terran up here at the 11 o'clock position, and over at the 2 o'clock position is going to be his opponent, 6 Jacks DDE. Now, one game away from taking the Alienware Arena Finals #2. If he can actually secure this, he will secure that $1,000 first place prize, as well as that competitor pass to MLG Raleigh.
And you know, with $1,000 on the line, these guys don't seem all that serious, which is kind of
They really
refreshing to
don't.
see.
Yeah.
StarCraft 2 has kind of taken a serious tone these days with the amount of, or I guess the prize pool jumping up. Got huge events going on. It's really taken a serious tone, so it's a little bit refreshing to see guys who just love to play the game. And KawaiiRice is always, you know, just bubbly and smiling, and today is no different.
Yeah, he really is. It's not like we're going to be seeing E.G. Idra here or anything BMing the other player. If he actually loses, we'll probably see a congratulations, and we'll see you next week in
KawaiiRice even knows what BM means.
That's well, I mean, he's actually just like a mini version of Sheth, because he's just like so nice all the time, and but he's not as well known as Sheth in that sense. But we need to spread the word. KawaiiRice is very, very good mannered.
He's got a bit of a following, especially on TL. Was a Brood War player for quite some time. People actually knew him back in Brood War just because he was bubbly. He streamed with J-pop, and that's kind of how he got known. And then StarCraft 2
I think he still does that, actually.
Yeah, well, he still does, but now he's known for being like a good StarCraft 2 player as opposed to a J-pop streamer. So
yeah,
leveling up a little bit in my eyes.
There you go. There you go. We're going to be seeing a 15 CC, or excuse me, a 16 CC coming out for KawaiiRice. I do believe maybe a little bit later, as he's very, very close to those 400 minerals. Does not have gas whatsoever. Here's the SCV coming out to go ahead and plop down that CC at his natural. Meanwhile, back over in DDE's base, we do see that Reaper coming out. And we might be seeing a 1-Rax expand with a Reaper opening from DDE, although it is still kind of too early to tell right now.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he has a whole lot going on behind this. He's still mining gas, which is extremely surprising. He may be adding on a second Reaper. Yes, that's indeed what he's going to do.
Huh.
So maybe it's a 3 Reaper and then a command center. We'll have to see if he follows up. I mean, it's got to be. Now that he's dropped the mule, he's bringing in the income. Yeah. That would suggest to me a command center. So there he goes. KawaiiRice going to get the better of this build order battle.
Now, for a while there, this Reaper opening in the TVT matchup wasn't really that well known, and you could really catch your opponent off guard. But
right.
I feel like now it's just so common that a lot of Terran players are just like, oh, he killed an SCV there, delayed my expansion just a little bit. But we see him actually getting quite a bit of damage here. Is he going to be able? He does kill that Reaper. The Marine getting very, very close to dying, and he actually controls it quite well with the stutter step to take out that SCV. Still not putting another SCV there, as now it's finally moving into place.
But that means the second Reaper from DD is going to be able to do that much more damage, as he's got a one-hit KO on the second Marine. Let's take a look at how far away the third Marine is. It's not quite there, but looks like he's going to go into the main, so he's not going to continue with the harassment at the natural, which is probably a good decision as the command center is finishing up. So now he's able to move in, stop the reinforcing Marines. This is starting to be a little bit annoying.
Yeah.
Gets a good position on that Reaper, going to take it down.
Oh no.
14 HP, so the next reinforcement going to be able to take that out. He's finished the natural, so not a whole lot of damage. Wow, he actually catches the bunker as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually pretty remarkable. A lot of Terrans will just send in one Reaper, just kind of scout around, but DDE kind of showing you, well, if you follow that up with a second Reaper and you kill a handful of Marines the first time, you can take out quite a bit more units with the follow-up. So might have to steal that and kind of work that into ladder play, Chill.
Yeah, it works really well, and you can tell this was actually in his mindset. It wasn't like he got in there
it wasn't just
and
luck.
Then transitioned into it, because he made that second Reaper without scouting with the first one and the third one as well. And you can see he's got the timing worked out, or at least he does it until it doesn't work anymore, because now he's switched over and begun to produce Marines. And we can see with those three barracks completed, the Reapers would begin to be ineffective. So very nice play by both players here, actually, because KawaiiRice, while he took a lot of damage there, he didn't die outright, which, okay, not that big a deal, but he got his expansion up, taking minimal damage, and he expanded more quickly than DDE, so we can't forget that.
Here's a third Reaper of DDE, kind of scouting around us to go ahead and take out one of the SCVs of KawaiiRice. The expansion for DDE has been landed. A very, very fast starport with a reactor on it. Producing 2 medevacs at a time. Stim about halfway complete. This kind of signals to me that we might be seeing a big 2 medevac drop here, Chill.
You know, even if it's not a drop, there's a build where you make a lot of Marines and actually just use the 2 medevacs to crash the front door. I like that DDE is keeping this Reaper alive, because while this may not be what he's looking to do, oh, be careful as he jumps up, he can use that Reaper to draw out KawaiiRice's army and then crash the front door. So if he does that, I would be ecstatic. We'll have to see. These medevacs could also be less fancy, and they could just be defensive. You can get a lot done by having medevacs out early to defend.
Right. We see a second factory coming out for DDE. He might really just go for a big attack here with these 2 medevacs and the Marines as we see him loading up, and then transition after that into kind of tank Marine play that we saw from him in the last game. This drop could be doing quite a bit of damage. If we look at KawaiiRice, he just now finished that starport. Does not have tanks, does not have siege mode, does not have Blue Flame Hellion, just a handful of Marines. Looking real quick on the unit counting station. 16 Marines for KawaiiRice, 12 for DDE, but he's also got the added benefit of having these medevacs. Let's see if he actually has stim. He does not. Yeah. So this is going to be huge, huge here, especially with that Marauder. You could take out a lot of these tech labs. And here we go. This attack just might very well do a ton of damage, Jill.
Yeah, I don't think he knows that KawaiiRice doesn't have stim, or else he would be trying to attack him quite a bit more. KawaiiRice went for the more defensive combat shield, so it was an interesting matchup, combat shield versus stim. Only going to lose the tech lab. That means the siege is going to be delayed. That opens up some timings for DDE, but DDE doesn't really strike me as the player who goes for those timings. I think he'll just be happy that he has siege done and can safely take a third.
And DDE still has those 2 medevacs in the back of his base. He might just be saving those for later. See him taking out these destructible rocks with the 2 Marines and their buddy, the Marauder. So he's trying to maybe take a third here pretty quickly. Looking around, don't see a command center just yet. We do have the 2 tech lab factories, double the siege tank production, double the fun, as he probably would say. Here's the DDE dropping back in the main, and the stim coming down. KawaiiRice does pull his SCVs very, very early, and luring those depots actually probably could have left those up, but we see him picking up once again. He's going to leave that Marauder. And okay defense there from KawaiiRice.
Yeah, KawaiiRice just wanted to have quick access to defend that. It's really frustrating when you try to go back and defend and your depots are up, so he preemptively put those down. With the Viking out, KawaiiRice is able to drive back those medevacs so they can't sit at the top left forever. When the dust settles, let's see what we've got going on here. 4 barracks for DDE, 2 factories, as you mentioned earlier. KawaiiRice, meanwhile, on 3 barracks, 1 factory, 1 starport. Neither player choosing to take his third yet, but DDE has preemptively knocked down those rocks. KawaiiRice getting a little antsy. He wants to assert himself on the map. Going to catch some Marines here, but DDE quickly stimming and running away. This would be a nice time for DDE to drop in the back. He's got to siege up and make sure he doesn't die to anything silly here, and that's what he's doing. KawaiiRice takes map control, but he's not going to get a huge amount of utility from it.
And we actually saw a nice snipe there from DDE onto that medevac. May not seem like the biggest thing, but in these huge battles with the Marines, it's really going to factor in, especially when you don't have the medevac and your opponent does. So we'll see this drop from DDE. It looks like it's coming up once again, but there is a Viking here, and if we go back to these medevacs real quick and look at the path, he is going to go right next to that Viking. Which medevac? He's going to actually lead with the hurt one. Does not have actual units in it at the moment, but it will of course scout that for him, for his controller, in the sense for KawaiiRice. He knows exactly that the drop is coming.
He's got to snipe this Viking. DDE, yes, does target it. Now he's got to get back in the medevac. Starting to get shelled though. Medevac goes down. Nice targeting by KawaiiRice, and nice job making sure that he got in there, killed the medevac, and shut that down very quickly. Meanwhile, in the middle of the base, stimming, moving forward, trying to take out these Marines, but DDE is sieged on the high ground there, so he's forced to retreat. You know, we talked about the early expansion versus the Reaper harassment. KawaiiRice is down 6 SCVs, but up 15 supplies, so that's kind of where he's at from this faster expansion. It really does add up, getting that expansion up, you know, 30 seconds earlier at the cost of a little bit of damage. when you drive into the mid game.
We see some tanks here on the low ground next to that Zelnaga tower. KawaiiRice actually just circumventing those and going all the way around. He's going straight to the natural, but it looks like he does not want to engage that. He's going to use those siege tanks to try to pick off any forces. The Vikings of DDE here will allow him to get sight if he tries to move in. But kind of a standoff right now in the middle of the map. We see quite a bit of stims now as the medevac will be coming up and trying to heal all those units, but I don't think she's going to have enough energy.
KawaiiRice seems content to be in no man's land, and that makes me uncomfortable. I don't know about you, JP, but I just keep envisioning the forces of DD just falling on there like, I don't know, 2 clashing swords and just crushing this entire army. I don't know how long he can sit here before he gets out.
Just saw a drop from KawaiiRice. It was picked off by these 2 missile turrets, a handful of Marines in the back of DDE's base. But yeah, that medevac actually out of energy right now. And a scan going down from DDE. Still sees these forces. Another drop here from DDE in the back of KawaiiRice's base. There is a sensor tower going up. Command center finished. He does see this drop, but he has not reacted to it just yet. As the Vikings are coming here pretty soon, they're going to be able to take out that medevac with ease. What can DDE actually kill here? And it looks like it's not going to be too much, as there's quite a few Marines for KawaiiRice. And this lone siege tank, as well as that Viking, to go ahead and seal that attack up. But this attack, or these 4 tanks might be able to do quite a bit of damage here against KawaiiRice. And he's moving forward, does not see those tanks. Goes ahead and siege and just loses so many forces right there, Chill.
And actually, DD had control of that Zelnaga watchtower, so he was able to do a lot of damage there. And now uniting the troops, bringing them together, 150 supply to 157. KawaiiRice trying to take control of this all-important high ground right in between them. This is so pivotal. And TVT is going to siege up. No one controls the watchtower. DD moving towards it. That's dangerous.
1 lone Marine sent out to die as it tried to control that Zelnaga tower. And DDE might just go for a big elevator drop here into the back of KawaiiRice's base, but KawaiiRice does notice it, and there are some Marines up at the very edge. Here come the siege tanks. They're going to siege. Oh, and they're going to lose so many of those units, but the Vikings are now coming out. It's going to go ahead and get picked off. What is KawaiiRice going to do with this big army? He's got to do something, because this huge attack is just going to rain down, especially if you can get some of those siege tanks up onto the high ground.
So KawaiiRice is going to give up a little bit of damage for his main base, and instead he's going to take the high ground in the middle. That's not a bad choice, kind of sacrificing a little bit of life for tempo and map control. Now DD is a little bit in no man's land and dropping in the natural. That is beautiful, driving away the SCVs. KawaiiRice moving forward. Does he want to attack? That's so dangerous. I would not recommend that. DD doing so much damage here, pulling kind of a reverse KawaiiRice on Shakura's plateau. Both players have their third base established now. KawaiiRice driving towards the third base of DD.
And he might be able just to take this out very quickly, especially if he stims those Marines and gets under that command center. If it does lift, and there we go. And it is going to fall so quickly.
Yes.
Back in the main base of KawaiiRice, there are 3 tanks. Some of those tanks have been lifted up onto the high ground. And he's just going to drop right on the siege tanks of KawaiiRice and easily take those out and get those into siege mode. He'll be able to take out the Marines as well as some of the other siege tanks, but it doesn't just lift up. And now he might just siege there on the very edge.
Oh man, this is back and forth. This is really interesting to watch and really hard for both players to deal with. KawaiiRice trying to defend in his main base. The tanks continue to rain down on the reinforcements. Now KawaiiRice going to siege below the natural. This is almost never a factor because tanks are sieged up there almost always, but DD having a rare loss of focus, didn't have his reinforcements sieged in the correct place, and as a result, he's going to have, oh god, how many idle SCVs? 79 idle SCVs.
That is not pretty whatsoever. We do have a planetary fortress over here for DD. It looks like DD is not even going to worry about this attack and just shove everything over towards the natural of KawaiiRice. He has quite a few units here. He's also controlling that back of KawaiiRice. There are some tanks dedicated to actually defending against that. That is just a ridiculous amount of vital SCVs right there, Chill.
I think KawaiiRice has done it. DD is going to have to do some sort of killing blow here. He's tried to grind down KawaiiRice in the main base, and yes, he's getting cost efficiency there, but now KawaiiRice able to drop, clean this up, so that's completely going to shut down any sort of aggression that DDE has. Now he's trapped in his main base. He's trying to drive out to the third. This has to be huge damage. And look at that siege so quickly. KawaiiRice should be able to hold this with ease.
Actually, we see the tanks not actually deciding to siege now, and they're going to take out the siege tanks, now going into siege mode. And, oh no, here come all of the SCVs. He's got to make sure he does not lose too many Marines to that. And, wow, actually DDE might be coming back in this game.
That's crazy. That's...
Look how many SCVs, Chill. That is actually absurd.
So, the third is completely broken. DDE's long-range mining. KawaiiRice is mining with like 3 SCVs as natural. Now comes the train, but there's only a few SCVs remaining there. DDE should probably pull out and not just leave these units to die, because he's going to need them when the game goes kind of to that long, stalemate, drawn-out position. But he's got a 30 supply advantage here.
Uh-oh,
here's magic.
Here's a push for KawaiiRice right now. He's going to see the SCV train of tears here pretty soon, as a couple of the bio units are going to push forward. There is a couple of tanks though, but oh no, the SCV is getting a little bit, oh, he actually saves him at the last second. But at the same time, KawaiiRice is now kind of turtled up at his base, not able to get this third because of DDE. He's just mining off of these 6 mineral patches that are very, very close to running out. And we need to actually see this commence and or get over there very, very quickly for DDE. Does have a planetary fortress over here. There are 3 Marines as well as this huge force, not allowing SCVs to slip by.
Right, and it's so...
Uh-oh, Chill, over here at the natural of KawaiiRice.
Oh, big engagement going on. KawaiiRice trying to stim and spread to deal...
GG, wow. He was actually kind of ahead in that fight, but...
Don't know if the game was over, but sometimes when you're playing, you just feel it.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes TVT is just one of the most frustrating matchups to play, Chill, because it's incredibly, incredibly positional based, and that means that DDE is going to be able to take that 3-0 over KawaiiRice from Fnatic MSI, securing that $1,000, and of course that MLG Raleigh competitor pass. Chill, KawaiiRice might have not lost that game. Should he have stuck in there a little bit longer?
Well, I mean, absolutely, but you got to look at it from KawaiiRice's point of view. He hasn't been mining for God knows how long because his natural is mined out, and he feels like he's not getting that much done. I don't think he knew that DD wasn't mining from his third, and I think he knew that he wasn't mining from his fourth, but
yeah,
when you're not mining for minutes and you think your opponent is, and you know you win a battle but not as handedly as you should have, then you just feel like it's hopeless. That
is true. That is true. Well, Chill, it was a pleasure casting with you. Do you have any? You want to give any shout outs or tell people where they can actually check more of you out?
You can't check more of me out, but you can go to teamliquid.net. I do a show tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern with DJ Wheat called Weapon of Choice. So yeah, teamliquid.net is where you need to go for StarCraft.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for casting with me, Chill. It was a pleasure as always. This has been MLG Live bringing you the Alienware Arena Finals #2. Congratulations to 6Jacks DDE for securing that first place victory. We'll see you guys next time for MLG Live. I'm JP McDaniel signing out.